Hi, this is Nick Lowry, my good buddy Cameron Siemens, and we're going to go through some basic exercises that come from the old 1950-51 film of Mr. Kenji Tomiki, as he was doing what's called Sotai Dosa. Sotai Dosa is an early form that basically preceded what we think of as the release forms, or the basic wrist releases that we practice in our normal curriculum. In the earliest iterations that we find in this old black and white film, we see that the man's coming in at a cross-hand grip and working low down toward the hip, basically. He makes a very small action. He makes a small action turning the foot out or opening this hip. And as he opens the hip, he coils the shoulder from this socket right here up over into this relationship and then concludes with a stepping action. Now, it can conclude with the drop and throw him like that, but basically we just have an action that we're just causing his body to arch. We just demonstrate this control. So we're not necessarily concluding in throws, we're concluding in postural distortions. We'll try it on this side. Cross-hand grip, please. The shoulder's opening on this action of the foot here. Boom. Shoulder coils, and the step comes in, basically, to lay into the guy. You make it into a dynamic form. It's kind of nice. Looks like this. Good. Or like here. Yeah. So it can be done with throwing. You can have a lot of fun with this sort of action. But the key is that it rides out of this shoulder socket here, that you don't try to do it by twisting in the radius and ulna down here in the shallow twist from the elbow, but that the coiling action comes all the way from the shoulder, right up here. And I've also found that it's actually more powerful the more this rides up into this high dimension. So there's a tendency to kind of cut this flat and make it like this. You can run into the guy's power that way. You kind of get bogged down, like boom, you kind of get locked in here. But if this rolls all the way up, like you're thinking, like the old airplane game we'd play as kids, like this, very powerful, hard to stop. Even if he gets two hands on it, go ahead. Yeah, that rotation that goes from that high line, very difficult for them to do much about. Kind of useful tool. There you go. Cool. That's the first one. In the second form, what we see is we have a closing shoulder action. Boom, here. And it's going to cut across from a mirror hand grip, and then we directly step into the shoulder. And so it makes more like a Gyakugamiate form. Shoulder coil, forward step. Shoulder coil, forward step. Good. We'll do it from this side. You see a different line. Shoulder coil, forward step. Good. I'm a little ahead of him. I can wait till he loads it if he likes. He can be powerful. He can get some resistance in there if he wants. Shoulder coil and a little step. The key is that it operates again out of the shoulder and not from the radius and ulna down here at the wrist, because if he's locked down, get strong with it, and I try to just twist, I'm getting very little action in the guy. Not much action. Shoulder coil, though, and it's hard for him to resist. He knows it's coming. He knows what I'm going to do. Get strong with it. Don't let it happen. There you go. His resistance becomes meaningless when it's coming from this joint. When it's coming from here, lots of stuff can happen. So that's the first two actions of what were the original form of releases that we see in this old black and white film from the early 50s. Thank you.